Yeah, Alero. So, Alero, I heard, you see that song that was just playing? Let us have a world of ordinary people, living like the way God wants us to. If we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you.
Yes.
So why can't we live like ordinary people? Why do we always have to carry on airs?
Because I want to have 18 million naira in my bedroom.
Would that make you any different? Would that make you... Okay, so the conversation is now us. Well, the man who did that song is sitting here. As I told you earlier in the course of the show, we let the tail of the cat out of the bag, and then on Twitter we also put out a picture. Well, he's sitting down here, so I guess the producers will let you see him now. Cobham Sasuko is in the studio. Nigerian-born songwriter, singer, producer, director, a conglomeration of artistic talent. Hello, Cobham.
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
Super. It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you went out there, started out to study law, and then you diverted to study music.
That's correct.
Did you ever go back to finish that law degree?
No, I didn't. So I'd say to parents, it's not a very, what's the word now? It's not the most impressive academic story. And I advise kids not to try it at home or anywhere else for that matter. But no, I didn't go back. And I have no regrets, quite honestly.
Oh, why did you start it in the first place?
Well, for a lot of things, for a variety of reasons. First of all, my father thought I'd be a good lawyer, and he thought I'd be his lawyer. You know how
His lawyer.
You look up to someone, and that's they're your hero. And then generally we tend to assume that once you're a little argumentative, then you'd make a good lawyer. I mean, I eventually discovered that there's more to being a good lawyer than that. And then music generally had a hold on me, a hold that was very, very strong. So
Now, tell us about that hold of music on you. Is there music in your family?
My father was somewhat of a failed. He was a failed DJ of sorts. He was in the military, but
is he watching you?
No, he's not watching me. He passed.
That's why you can say
I suppose.
Failed DJ.
He was in the military, but he had his turntable and his records and all that, and he got drunk and broke his pin one day, and I think that pretty much ended that career.
Okay.
But he played a lot of music. I grew up listening to like a ton of all the greats, James Last and Jimmy Cliff and Ken Lazarus and all that stuff. And so I got introduced to music pretty early. My mother always wanted to sing. She didn't get around to it, and had hoped that one of her children would take up the ambition. Well, pretty well, I guess you can say that. She's alive and she's probably watching, so I'd be a little more careful with that.
Okay, so you went into music, and you've done a great deal of work for you, for others. So why did it take you so long to put out a collection of your songs?
And you're not meaning to sound altruistic or anything, but when you start out as a producer, what you really want to do is create great music. What you want to do is create music that contends for airtime. And it's better when you're doing that with a plethora of artists whose music you can use to express just your different interests and your different ideas. As one person, oftentimes, you're sort of streamlined or, put in a box, and that doesn't give you the room for expression as much as when you work with different artists. And I wanted to find expression. And when you're in that space, that takes time. When you're creating music for other people and there are all these varied expressions, that takes time and a lot of effort. And so you always sort of, procrastinate and put your own project, somewhere in the back burner, and you always say, I'll come back to it. Well, eventually you get round to it when you realize that you absolutely have a voice to tell a story, and it's important that you tell it now more than any other time.
At what point did you discover that music was what you wanted to do in spite of your challenge?
That's a very interesting question. So, going back to music having a hold on me, I started to whistle and, just drum on everything in the house, from the dining table to barrels of water to whatever, when I was about 6, 7. So I don't know that, there was a conscious discovery. I think, it just sort of cheats like that. It takes a hold of you before you find that level of self-awareness or self-consciousness, if you will. So I pretty much just started making music, and I enjoyed it, and I have enjoyed it to this day. I don't know if there was ever a time I discovered it. What I do recall discovering and deciding that I was going to pursue that path, despite being blind, is being a music producer. I didn't know, of any blind music producer in Nigeria at the time, and I absolutely wanted to do it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance, and I did.
Okay. Now,
and you never look back.
No. I don't. More often than not, I don't look back.
I listened to that song, Ordinary People.
Yeah.
I listened to the lyrics, and I listened to a conversation you had with some people, I think a TED Talk, where you talked about how you had to go through challenges with your friends in school and all of that, playing pranks and all. And I tied back to this song, Ordinary People. What made you come up with those words, ordinary people, extraordinary? How does it tie in?
Again, something about the tipping point. How sometimes you really want to put your finger on what it was that really moved things from point A to from 0 to 100. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think there was like a big eureka moment. I went to sleep in a hotel in Ghana. I had a dream. I succinctly, clearly heard the choir singing, "Let us have a world of ordinary people." So I don't think I was in one of my very philosophical moods, and I was trying to be, I wasn't trying to be Plato or Aristotle or anything. It came to me in a dream. I liked it. I began to write the verses, and then it began to have meaning and take shape. And then I realized that in a sense, it's sort of like the reflection of the life that I want to live, where, the people who have done absolutely amazing things are everyday people who have just taken the chance and taken the leap. And I think that a lot of times, like you rightly said, we have airs, we have, this huge chip on our shoulders, and it makes us, more important and clouds what we potentially can do or potentially can become if we just saw ourselves as ordinary people who are open and given to service. And so, it began to take that sort of meaning to me. And I thought, this song was given to me for a reason, you know what I mean? And if it hadn't been me, it could have been anyone else, quite honestly. But because it is me, then it is my duty to just disseminate and share the information, and the message that this song is about.
Who is Cobhams?
Good question. Who's Cobhams? I like to think that I'm the average Joe. I'm the guy next door who likes his coffee, likes great music, likes jazz, likes fine dining, likes boats and planes and trains, and loves Jesus. That's not complicated, is it?
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I like, what else do I like? I love my family. I like barbecue. I like food.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
In the face of...
I like flip-flops. Yeah.
See, you're wearing something.
I am wearing flip-flops, yes. I love flip-flops more than shoes. So I like to think that I like to be comfortable, and I like to mean something. I like to count for something. I like to stand for something. And so I'm easy. I like to think that I'm uncomplicated. I like to think, I don't know, that's left for people who relate with me to tell.
Okay. But we'll take a moment and go on a quick break. When we'll come back, you're one who's mastered your challenge, you made the best of it. What message would you leave out there? And then you're going to sing us out of the studio today.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
I forgot my voice at home.
So as we're back in a moment, please don't go away.
Without good people. All through my life so far, there's always been one good person holding my hand and helping me move from one stage to the next. And so for me, an angel isn't always